Is the organization you trust to organize your child's bake sale actually pushing a radical political agenda behind your back? For generations, the PTA was a staple of American school life, focused on fundraisers, field trips, and family engagement. But an explosive new report from the watchdog group Defending Education is pulling back the curtain on a much darker reality. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you these deep dive investigations. The National Parent-Teacher Association, or NPTA, has long enjoyed a reputation as the authoritative, neutral voice for parents across the country. But according to the latest research, that reputation is being used as a Trojan horse. The report highlights how the national organization is prioritizing controversial issues like DEI, race, and gender ideology, effectively filtering these left-wing priorities down to state and local chapters. This isn't just happening in big city school districts. It's trickling down into the very classrooms where your children are learning. The documents are staggering. We aren't just talking about abstract goals. We are talking about specific training materials. One initiative encourages PTA leaders to have conversations about race with children at an age as young as 5, citing controversial literature like White Fragility and books that claim young children are already racially biased. When an organization that claims to be about educational success starts providing instructional manuals on how to teach toddlers about institutional racism, parents have every right to ask, when did the mission change, and who gave you the authority to take it there? It doesn't stop at classroom materials. The NPTA has also inserted itself into federal immigration policy. They are actively advocating for schools to act as sensitive locations, pressuring districts not to report illegal status to immigration authorities and creating playbooks on how to organize resistance against ICE agents. This is a massive departure from the organization's founding mandate. The public relies on the PTA for support, not to function as a political advocacy group that pushes its members to lobby lawmakers or orchestrate walkouts. Look at Washington State, where the local PTA chapter passed a resolution to dismantle systemic racism by conducting mandatory anti-racist equity audits and providing bias training for all educators. Look at Ohio, where the state chapter is urging members to pressure lawmakers to block legislation that doesn't align with their specific stance on LGBT youth. In Maryland, a local chapter even hosted a workshop titled IC Response Organizing Tools. This is not your grandfather's PTA. These local chapters are morphing into aggressive political entities, driving radical ideologies into the heart of community life. The danger here is systemic. By maintaining the facade of a local volunteer organization, these groups gain access to school board meetings, teacher-parent communications, and, most importantly, the trust of the community. When a parent enters a PTA meeting, they expect to discuss playground equipment or reading programs, not a curriculum audit based on critical race theory. The NPTA claims they are merely providing resources for respectful dialogue, but parents who have examined these materials argue that this is nothing more than indoctrination masquerading as support. What does this mean for the average family? It means your school board and your local teachers are increasingly being pressured to adopt political stances that are often deeply unpopular with the parents they serve. It turns schools into battlegrounds, where the focus shifts from reading, writing, and arithmetic to critical consciousness and political activism. If the trend continues, the PTA will cease to be a bridge between home and school, becoming instead a wall that separates parents from the truth about what is being taught to their children. The bottom line is that the NPTA is using its massive infrastructure to influence the next generation on issues that many parents feel belong at the dinner table, not at the school desk. Parents are waking up to this reality, and they are demanding answers. They are asking why their donation money is funding political advocacy instead of classroom supplies. So what do you think about this? Is the PTA overstepping its boundaries by pushing these political initiatives into our schools? Or do you believe this is a necessary part of the modern educational mission? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know where you stand on this. The time for blind trust is over. As more of these internal documents come to light, it is becoming clear that we are witnessing a fundamental shift in how our schools are influenced. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep asking the hard questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.